Alright, y'all. Let's get on over here. Green on. Alright, y'all. So, long day. Oh my gosh. Last thing I want to do right now is throw. My skin is so dry. I just want to go to bed, get some food in my stomach. But I still got to record and I got to edit tonight. So it's going to be a long night for me. I'm going to get right into it. I'm not going to mess around anymore. And I'll see you guys over there in a second. Green off. Alrighty. Wedging table. Just a little bit over to the side here. So I'm gonna just make sure. I think I gotta do a better job with having that a little bit more over here. So I can wedge a little bit better. Make sure I don't get any of these hard chunks, you know. Clay's a little bit soft. A little bit harder than yesterday. So that's good. This chunk's gonna be good, I think. I can just feel it, you know? It's a little bit more stiff than the other one. I think it's just in a nicer point of its own process here. Da, 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 da. This one's also kind of good too. Seems like we're only gonna have one that's gonna be a problem. So I'm gonna start with that one. Just eat it up. Okay. Start with this. I'm gonna tilt this camera a little bit more towards me so I can see what's going on. Oh no. Oh no. Can you guys still hear the music? Oh yeah, nobody's here. It's freaking 10 o'clock at night. But I want to hear it. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. Let's get cruising here, y'all. Gotta get some more water. Oh, Clay, chill. Oh my gosh. Okay, filling it up with some water. Bringing it right over here. Alrighty. Oh, yeah. Centering this right up here like this. Spin that ever so slightly. Put that on there. Have some water. Take this clay, get that off the wheel, and then we're gonna look at the bottom first. It has a little bit of, you know, air pockets, so we're gonna just smooth some of those out, right? Push that down. Put this out there. A bit of water. Push this up, and we'll go over to wheel. There we go. Right to the bottom, bring that up again. Again, this is the softer clay, right? And so it's really going to listen to us in these beginning stages. And so we're just going to make sure we are going to get it kind of nice. Sometimes if you do a really good job centering, it can help you out later. Bring this down right to that base there. Slowly bring that fist down and out towards my body. I'm looking for that hockey puck thickness. Great. Thumbs right in that middle part. Opening this up ever so slightly. Right across that bottom. Always try to cut through the clay, don't try to push it around. Smooth that out. Right to the bottom edge here. llama pole, grab that up, turn this into a little volcano. Great. Okay, next pole. A little bit of water, knuckle pole right on this bottom edge. It's important at the very base, you want to get your pot nice and centered. If your knuckles banging around or your fingers banging around before you even start the pole, you can't expect it to be centered, okay? Again, right to the bottom. Again, grab another knuckle. Right to this bottom edge. A bit quicker as we get more narrow. Call that in. We got one pole left, so maybe not one pole, but like one more pole. Like we got our height pole here. There's from underneath. Okay. Nice. Camera B. Some more water. Okay. Get some more water out of the interior because we have quite a bit in there. Squeeze. Again, get some of that out. Squeeze. We're going to go right to the bottom. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. A little bit of water right on this top. Slowly pulling this out ever so slightly on this rim. Gentle, smooth, kiss that rim right there. Great. Right to this bottom edge. Put a little bit of pressure right on here. We're gonna pull this out. There we go. Okay. Everybody rocks. So cool. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Kind of interesting, your name, Everybody Rocks. Do you do music? Are you a rock? Is your YouTube channel music? I don't know. Let me know. Alright. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got 9 on the bottom there. Carve off this stuff. Here's number 1. Camera B, or sorry, camera A. Lapidary and rocks, yes. I used to do pottery too. Interesting. What's a lapidary? Lapidary. Lapidary wheel. Oh, like woodworking. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Kiwi Lord 701 says, awesome work, thank you so much. Camera A. Pottery shelf. There we go. Water. Everybody Rock says, processing rocks into, I don't even know, cabicons for jewelry and mining stones too. Wow. That's really, really interesting. I feel like I always thought it was kind of interesting. Oh wait, Mark M says, had to rewind to see how you made the twist. Amazing wheel work, my dude. Ah, thank you, Mark M. I really appreciate that. That's kind of you. But here we go. We're pushing this down. Right to the bottom. Right up. And just bring that right up. We're gonna go do one more pull here. Or not pull, one more. Push right at the base. Just slowly get that up there, right? And just bring that right down. transition. Ready to bring that back up just a little bit. And we're going to bring our hammer fist right on down to that edge there. I repurposed one of my old bats for a pottery into a flat lap for facing gemstones. That's awesome. You know, when I was in my undergraduate school, right, there was a glass department, right, and they had this huge stone lapidary wheel that you just poured, you know, like some silicon carbide in different grits, and it would sand the bottoms of your pots just so smooth. So I have an air bubble there that just popped. There we go. But I remember that lapidary wheel. I would just take tons of my pots over there, and I probably wasn't supposed to do it, just because I think the glass will ruin it. But I love those lapidary wheels. They're just the way that it would just instantly smooth something compared to how, like, you know, you'd use like a sanding pad or anything else. It doesn't even come close, right? There's something that was so satisfying about, like, you know, sliding something across a table and actually slides rather than it kind of scratching right through the bottom. Mark M says, the way you have your pots, you have a mechanic's shop in Mumbai, organizing chaos. Organizing chaos. That's so funny. You're gonna like this. So hold on. And strong mentality. I usually play that at the very end, right? But I just wanted to show you the organizing chaos. So that's just one of the rooms. I got a whole nother, my dining room and living room is totally full too, but I don't have video of that. But yeah, just since you were curious about the organizing chaos, I thought I'd just show you now. Aw, thanks y'all, you guys are so funny. I appreciate it. I like how, you know, I never thought of YouTube as a way or like a streaming platform, you know? It's always kind of interesting for me to see people being able to react and use emojis, and I've always thought the coolest thing that a stream offers is that there's like a chat, right? Like, well, that's kind of obvious, right? But I think there's something really cool about it. Hey, you're just stopping by. I wanted to tell you, keep it going. I've been watching for a few minutes now, but I'll go to sleep now. Hey, thank you so much. I'm always going to keep on grinding it out, but I really appreciate your stopping in and saying hello. Have a nice sleep and dream of pottery. Have you tried crystalline glaze? Yeah. Do I have any down here? No. When you say crystalline, I'm assuming you're talking about macro crystalline glaze. But yeah, I haven't. I don't have any down here, but I haven't done macro crystalline in a little bit, you know. But I was trying to do a thing where I was trying to reduction cool crystalline glaze with copper in it and get some crazy stuff going with that. Somebody said, I'm hanging my pots upside down and using studio stools as cages to hang them. That's awesome. I was asking my teacher what else I should use because I couldn't use all the stools. He was like, you have to. I'm okay with it. That's so funny. I feel like a lot of people, I guess, especially pottery folk, I think we all realize how much stuff doesn't get used, and so when people want to just start using something for a project, I feel like we all kind of get excited about that, you know? Chaos, yeah. So funny. Somebody said, dude, YouTube's vertical audience is complete shit show. Gotta have some thick skin at times. Interesting. I don't know. I don't even know the audience and stuff. Yes, I've tried that one, Gorgeous. I hope you try it again and succeed. Yeah, I think reduction cooling is really, like, I love when you can get some of those copper reds, especially in the crystals, right? If you try to do crystalline, macrocrystalline glaze in just a normal reduction kiln, the zinc just vaporizes in the reduction atmosphere, so you can't really get it. But if you reduce it at such a low temperature, you're trying to get like a surface reduction on the crystals. I've seen it. I've seen images of it like really turn out cool. So I'll try it again some other time, but right now I'm in the making mode. I'm not going to be glazing until I finish my project here. I got until July, I think 17th or July 14th, one of those days. Yeah, I appreciate his excitement. Yeah, I don't know. I think when somebody's excited for your project, there's not a better feeling in the world. You know, like I think when I was like first starting out, the thing I think that really kept me coming back to ceramics is I had one professor who would always just be like just really pushing me forward or trying to show me something new or a new technique and all sorts of stuff. My girl Ruby is making a no-run crystalline. Yeah, you can add a little bit of clay to it. You just got to be careful because the more clay you add to your crystalline glaze, the fewer crystals are going to get seeded into the surface, and the smaller crystals you're going to get. I'll try the crystalline again one time, I promise. Vertical live videos get pushed to phones now when people are thumbing through shorts. Landscape lives don't get pushed into short algorithms. Yeah, that's why I'm on the YouTube Shorts algorithm. That's why I'm streaming vertical. But I also think pottery kind of has a cool like vertical format. I think it actually makes sense. I think when I'm horizontal format, I was doing a lot of videos for a really long time where I was doing the horizontal format, and let me tell you, it was just like I felt like there was a lot of dead space that wasn't getting activated. But in the vertical format, I feel like it's all being activated pretty, it's being activated. Okay. Good teachers make a difference. I totally agree. You only need a couple of them and it'll change your life. Okay, I gotta be careful. So it's gonna collapse here, but it's gonna actually be kind of cool. So we'll leave that alone. And so this is kind of interesting. Do you see how it's not a full collapse yet? Like it's still not totally twisted. I'll leave this one like that. I'm not gonna go crazy. Communities like this in my shorts make me feel less alone. Very talented too, man. Hey, thank you so much, Daniel. That's very kind of you. I think what I just want to be like, I don't want to inspire people to do pottery, but I want to inspire people to just attack something unrelenting in that attacking, right? Like obviously, like don't attack people, right? But there's got to be something in your life that you got to find value from. And I think how cool would it be if I get a spawn a community of people who are just all attacking something together, right? And I was thinking about there's a religious holiday that Muslim people do, right? And it's called Ramadan, right? And everybody fasts during Ramadan, and they all eat at a certain time, right? And so I thought there was something really, really beautiful about the idea that everybody's eating together, even though they're not with each other. The fact they're doing it together and they're fasting, right? There is a unity bonding them together. And so I thought, if y'all know that I'm like here throwing every single day, maybe that can help you muster up the motivation to get after something of your own, right? I think that's kind of an amazing thing. Here we go. We're gonna cut. Maybe we'll do a long one here. Okay. Camera B. Okay, there we go. Sorry I didn't change camera. I got lost in the sauce of talking. We got one more little thing here. Right to the side. Nice. Reminds me of Bayan. I don't know Bayan. Your video setup looks really nice. You're doing great. Yeah, I mean, it took me so long because I've been making these videos. I've only been live streaming now every day for maybe almost 2 months now. Yeah, I think so. but I've been making videos every day and throwing every day for almost a year, right? And so if you scroll back on my YouTube early on, you'll see even my speech pattern and everything is kind of developed more too. But those early videos, I went through all sorts of different video making arcs, right? Because I was just trying to find the most efficient way that I can make the content for out of the pottery videos. So there's all sorts of different ways that I thought of doing it. Right now it's the live streaming. I think it's kind of cool to interact. And I think if I edit the video shorts from or clips from this video, it's a lot more interesting if I'm interacting with people, you know? So we have those tendrils dancing on that bottom surface there. Taking some of that clay right off the bottom. Like banyan tree, the banyan tree. I'll have to look that up. Unrelenting pottery. Yeah, kind of like that. I like that vibe. I think it's pretty cool, but here you go. All right, here's number 2, camera B, or camera A. So there we go. So number 2 for the day. I mean, you know, it's one thing to make all these things, but I think the hard thing, or the thing that's more impressive for me, is the editing, right? Because I don't like editing. You pumped it out, or pimped it out? I don't know what that means. Like I pumped it out, or pimped it out? Like I'm pimping out my pots? I feel like that could be like an art installation, right? At everybody target? I don't know what that means. Pine trees you found in tropical climate have a canopy of vines. Interesting. I'll look those up. A lot of people was talking about the baboa trees in Africa. So it's kind of interesting that somebody said something else. The camera angle jazz. Oh. P-I-M-P, pimp. Interesting. I didn't know that was a word, really. Like, whenever I think of pimp, I think of something else. But, all right, wheel. Wheel. I like how these all seem part of a collection, very cohesive. Yeah, you know, I think for me, the trees I'm making, I like to think of them as songs, right? And every song, you know, you're going to have good songs and bad songs, but you need to have those in context for a good album, right? You're going to have your favorite song on an album. You're going to have your least favorite song on an album. You're going to have songs that you don't even think, you know, should be in that album, right? But they all need to be there in context for them to make sense, right? And so that's kind of what I think about when I'm thinking about making these trees, because the rhythm, right, of making them is pretty similar, you know, the pattern, right? Like, okay, I do this stage and this stage and this stage. But what happens within those stages, I give enough opportunity for potential to really take it in a whole new direction, right? And I've discovered so many different forms, and I've discovered own patterns of making that my body just end up falling into, right? Really starting to think of my body as a machine, right? That has a certain, you know, like every 1% of the pots will look like this, you know, 30% will look like that. You start to like learn your body. So it's kind of fun when you do stuff so long. Somebody said, just looked at the baboa tree, that thing looks hilarious, right? I think it does. Banyan trees and baboa trees. Bayans and baboas. I feel like that'd be a cool title name too for a show. Pimp My Pottery exhibit. That's so funny. Somebody said, where do I sell these? I don't sell them at all yet. I keep them kind of, they're just my thing right now, you know. I feel like I don't sell any of my work right now. I thought that, right, like sometimes you have a mental CPU, right? And there's only so many things that you can focus on in your mental CPU before you get diminishing returns, right? And so I've always thought if I think all about how I'm selling them, I'm not thinking about how I can make them better, right? I think a lot of people, they get stunted by the idea of selling things. And so I just want to make sure I don't fall into that same. One day I will. Don't worry, I'm hoarding these. But for right now, I just really need to get better at making them, and I need to make a lot of them. And I think about it this way. A lot of people think of projects in months, weeks, and that tops a year. Right now I'm working on a year project, right? But I'm also trying to think about ways that I can extend this to be like a decade project, right? And I think like that's where I'm going to find a lot of value. Like I don't find value in the starting of a project. I don't find value reaching the end of it, right? I find the value of like the testing your mind every day, like that consistency is where I think I find the value, right? Because it ends up becoming like a big snowball, and you just propels you to places where you didn't think that you could get to when you first started specifically, right? Somebody said, I was thinking like pimp my ride, you pimp this live stream. That's so funny. Interesting. Alright, pottery shelf. The water right on the inside here. Well, actually, we'll go to camera B. You could do both. Projects of art and growth. Projects of financial growth. Like make a teacup ever tree cup. Yeah, I think I used to, the very beginning of my pottery art career, right, or practice, right, started always with cups, right, because I really was engaging people in my early work, right. I did this project where in my undergrad I made a cup for every single student. There was like 800, so I made 800 mugs, and every single mug had a QR code, right, that linked to a website, and there was a number on each cup. And what I did, all I asked in exchange for one of the cups was a 1-minute audio recording of their coolest memory, you know, and you could scan your QR code and find your audio recording and everybody else's who obtained one of the cups, right, or the mugs. So it was a really, really fun project. It took me a really long time to get the website thing, and you know, I don't even have the domain anymore, right? So it's a little bit sad, but I feel like I posted some of the audio recordings on the YouTube. If you look up like if you scroll through my videos, you probably will find one of them somewhere, or even a couple of them. I think you'll notice what they look like because you'll see the thumbnail has like 800 cups in a video, or in the thumbnail. But yeah, the art project, interacting, meaningful for art and creator and art receiver. Well, you know what I realized when I was making things, and this is something I really like, it took me a little bit to figure out, right? Is like, I was always thinking like, what makes somebody the best potter, right? Is it somebody who masters like throwing, right? Is it someone who just gets it, the glazing, and can take, or someone who's a master fire, like can fire their pots perfectly in a gas kiln, right? Like what makes someone the best potter? And obviously I think that's something that everybody has to sort of define for themselves. So I think that's important. But I realized that for me, it's all about the best potter is someone who makes the most charged objects, right? And what is a charged object? A charged object, right? Let me tell you like another story, right? So, and hopefully this will answer what a charged object is. I'm not getting off track, right? So I go to a place called Brugger's Bagels in the morning sometimes, right? And the women that work at this Brugger's Bagels, they are the nicest people ever. Sometimes they'll give me free coffee or free sandwiches even, right? And so in response to their kindness, right, I made them a bunch of cups, right? And we started this kind of beautiful relationship where, you know, I would make them things because they would always, you know, be very generous to me with giving me free stuff, right? And then one time one of them asked me, hey, you know, do you think you could make an urn for my mother who's passed? Right? And I was like, wow, yeah, of course I can do that, you know? And I made this urn, and, you know, it was just such a beautiful experience, right? And I gave it to her, and the way she looked at me, her mannerisms, it was almost like she was frantic when she received the object, right? And I thought to myself, okay, like that right there, that's a charged object, right? It doesn't just exist, right? It's not just like the cup that you use in the morning that you drink coffee out of, right? It's a cup that between two people holds an event or an interaction, right? And every time you see or use that object, it brings you right back to that moment, right? That's a charged object. And so for me, the people who make the best pots, right, or the best potter in the world is someone who makes the most charged objects. And so that's kind of what I mean. I hope that makes sense for y'all. Here we go, throwing this out. I'm going to lift up this edge ever so slightly. Nice. Okay, a little bit of water right on this edge here. Pulling up this. Definitely makes sense. Sweet. I think we'll do a double tandrel on this one. I think these pots today, none of them really are standing out to me. I think they're kind of more, a bit more of mundane pots, but you gotta have those ones, right? Right to this edge, bring this right over to the side. We're gonna do a double tandrel on this one. What do you make it? Rancher Turtle says, what am I making? I'm making trees, you know? These are my tree pots. Alright, we're gonna curl these up. And so when you do a double tandrel, what I've realized is they start functioning less like a pattern and more like limbs. And so I think sometimes, not all the double tandrels, but some of the double tandrels really start to delve into the sculptural realm, right? I still think the pots in general are very much pottery vernacular, but for some reason, when I started making these double tandrel arms, right, they started feeling a lot more like sculptural, right? The pots almost felt like they started to interact with themselves, right? They had a gesture. They almost became a lot more human-like. The best kind of artist makes the right thing for the art receiver, even if the receiver is themselves. Interesting. Wow, that sounds like a... Well, I guess it makes sense because you do all the gem refining and stone refining stuff. But yeah, the best kind of artist makes the right art for a receiver, even if the receiver is himself. That reminds me of that. There's a quote that is like, it just so happens, right? If the artist is making the work that doesn't make them the happiest, but fills themselves with the most amount of value, it just so happens that it's the best thing that a viewer can have or can receive in some way or have, right? If the maker is so drowned in their own making, right, that something beautiful happens for a receiver or a viewer that's very special. These are the three. I feel like it's a musical reference, and I think I'm butchering the quote, but maybe somebody remembers it better than I can. But it's something about the receiver or the maker being so devoured by their own practice that it ends up being the best thing for the viewer as well as the maker, right? So I think those two lines of thinking, that what you brought up there, Everybody Rocks, is similar, you know? Camera B. or camera A, sorry. Camera A. How's that look? Sweet. All right, I'm gonna get over there and I'm gonna do a little pottery review. Look at that, that looks so interesting. All right, green on. Green on. Hello everybody, it's me. We're back again with another pottery review. Today's pots, these are late night pots, right? And I feel like, you know, only one of them is really doing something I think pretty standoutish, right? And so I guess we'll start off with this pot that I think is doing the thing the best. There's something about the tendrils aren't too crazy. I did a couple of short ones, 2 long ones, you know, and so there's something that's kind of just normal or mediocre about those tendrils. But there's something about that top, the way that it collapsed on top of itself, but it's still being held up by that spiral in the middle, I think really activates that pot quite a bit, right? When the form starts influencing and holding up itself, I think there's something really beautiful about those forms. You know, if I'm looking at the one over here, I think the double tendril, the arms, you know, I think it looks cool, but I don't think this one's doing anything too crazy, right? So I think this one's a little bit more mundane of the double tendrils. And the one on the top, I think the best thing I like about this is how wide that top really kicks out, right? It doesn't have the contrast of this pot, but I do think there's something kind of nice with the uniform of the spirals going up and then it kind of just tapering out a little bit larger than the base on the bottom. But hey, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully when I say this, it doesn't cut to that same video. All the best and strong mentality. Sweet. Okay, there we go. And so that's kind of my video. Oh, hold on. Green off. Maybe I'll leave you guys with one of my goated things. How about goated 1? Goated 1.
What do you know? What the hell do you actually know about me, huh? Nothing! I'll tell you what kind of man I really am. I have no strength, but I want it all. I have no knowledge, but all I do is dream. There's nothing I can do but struggle and fail like an
Alright, y'all. Somebody said, wow, that's gorgeous, very pretty, thank you. Oh, this is amazing. Oh yeah, the video of me, small version, or the thing of me being small, I like those. I like the story. The top one is strong and heavy. The bottom left one is being held up, and the bottom right one is falling. Yeah, totally. Oh yeah, I totally see that. I totally see that. Oh, completely chaos. I love it. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you all so much again for watching. I really appreciate it. I know it's really late at night. I gotta go edit a bunch of this footage and post some of it, so my night's not over, but my night's over for the stream. So I'll see you guys in the next one, okay?